How do I smile when Alexa is sad, and how I can speak when I'm a loss of words? I'm talking about Salahulddin. Salahulddin Ayubi. Salahulddin is the Western name of Salahulddin Yusuf ibn Ayub, the Muslim Sultan of Egypt and Syria, who famously defeated a massive army of Crusaders in the Battle of Hittin and captured the city of Jerusalem in 1187. At the height of his power, he ruled a unified Muslim region stretching from Egypt to Arabia. Salahulddin was celebrated by Muslims and many Westerns of later generations for his political and military skills, as well as his generosity and chivalry. Salahulddin was born Yusuf ibn Ayub in the central Iraq city of Tikrit in 1137. His family was of Kurdish descent, and his father Ayub and uncle were elite military leaders under Imad-ud-Din Zinki, a powerful ruler who governed northern Syria at that time. After growing up in Damascus and rising through the military ranks, the young Salahulddin joined an army commanded by his uncle, who served Zingi's son and heir, Nur-ad-Din, on a military expedition to Egypt. Days after days, years after years, Nur-ad-Din died in 1174, and Salahulddin launched a campaign to take control of the lands he had ruled. Days after days, years after years, and time was running. Nur-ad-Din died in 1174, and Salahulddin launched a campaign to take control of the lands he had ruled. He also sought to establish his regime as a major military player capable of challenging the four Western-controlled Crusader states, which had been established after the First Crusade in 1088. As Sultan of Egypt, Salahulddin returned to Syria and managed to capture Damascus, Aleppo and Mosul from other Muslim rulers. Salahulddin's forces also conquered Yemen, which enabled him to consolidate control over the entire Dead Sea. In addition to his military exploits, he also pursued diplomatic efforts to achieve his goals. Finally, Salahulddin gained widespread Muslim support for himself, the leader of a jihad, or holy war, dedicated to defending Islam against Christianity. Salahulddin's goal was to unite the Muslims in Syria, Palestine, and Egypt under his rule. In 1186, he had achieved it through a mix of diplomacy and military force. Known for his love of poetry and gardens, he also gained a reputation as a generous and noble leader, helped along the official biographers he hired to record his feats. After nearly a decade of fighting smaller patterns against the Franks, Salahulddin prepared to launch a full-scale attack in 1187 by assembling troops from across his realm south of Damascus and impressive Egyptian fleet at Alexandria. His army met the Franks in the massive clash in Hittin near Tiberias and defeated them soundly on July 4, 1187. Victory of the Battle of Hittin was followed by a string of quick victories across the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Al-Quds surrendered to Salahulddin's army after 88 years under Christian control. Salahulddin had then planned to kill all Christians in Jerusalem as revenge for the slaughters of Muslims in 1088. He agreed to let them purchase their freedom instead. In the wake of Salahulddin's capture of Jerusalem's Al-Quds, Pope Gregory called for a new crusade to recapture the city. Salahulddin Ayubi enjoyed a large number of human stories told in his storybooks because of his superior ability to combine toughness and compassion, cunning and justice. This dimension showed his rare genius in battles, his good management, and repairing their benefits. One day, Salahulddin, he was walking some of the streets in the city of Jerusalem when he was met by an old Christian sheikh who was hanging a golden cross around his neck, and he said to him, "Leader, please answer me. Why didn't you take revenge on them and do to them the same as they did to you? They killed your women, children, and elderly when they invaded Jerusalem." And Salahulddin said to him, Salahulddin answered, "O Sheikh, my religion prevents me from doing this, which commands me to have mercy on the weak and forbids me from killing children and elderly. Yes, there will be undoubtedly come a day when we will restore the splendor of Jerusalem as Salahulddin restored it before." Do you know how he restored it? The young man, a prisoner of Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem, wrote him a note that said, "O king, whose landmarks are reserved, darkness has come to you seeking from the holy house. All the mosques were cleansed, and my honor was defiled." Then he wrote at the end of the letter, "We long to hear the call to prayer from the Aqsa." Then Salahulddin fell to cry and cry until he wet the patch and made his first mission to liberate Palestine and Jerusalem. The nation that brought out Salahulddin, which is worse off than our situation today, more divided and more flawed, is unable to come out today like Salahulddin. The catastrophe of Palestine under the Crusader was 100 times more severe than the catastrophe of Zionist entity, and it has passed and ended. Do you doubt that we will regain Palestine? There is no doubt about that at all. May Allah protect the country of Palestine and its people. And finally, as Salahulddin said, "How can I smile when I have brothers in Palestine? There are martyrs who die." I really hope you liked the video. I will see you in another one.